throw me a freaking bone here.
3, 2, woo! All right, we are live. Welcome, ladies and gents, to the American Movie Podcast. This is your host, Matthew Benjamin. Today, we're going over The Disaster Artist. And if you've never heard of this, it is a story about a story. So it's a movie about the making of a movie, and this movie is the most notoriously bad movie that people absolutely adore and love. Like, I was really surprised to hear that they show this all over the nation, in London and France too, and people just flock. There's tens of thousands of people that attend these events and showings of this horrible movie called The Room. And The Disaster Artist is the making and the story of the director of The Room. And the director is Tommy Wiseau, who's played by James Franco, and he's accompanied by his brother Dave Franco, who plays Greg. And Dave and James. Actually, I'm gonna go Tommy and Greg. We'll go Tommy and Greg. Tommy is James and Greg is Dave. Okay, so if you can get those together, all right. See if I can get them together. Okay, so it's Tommy and Greg. They're struggling actors, and they're at San Francisco, and they're trying to make it big. They're trying to learn their craft. Greg is just new to the whole acting scene. He's very, very young, and Tommy he portrays himself as young, but he looks very, very old, and everybody swears by that. And he's a very mysterious man. He wears like 3 or 4 belts. Picture Johnny Depp and a Three Musketeer, or a Musketeer, maybe not the candy bar, but a Musketeer itself, one of the Musketeers. So he dresses like that, and he's very, very eccentric. And he says he's from the Ragin' Cajun Bayou of Louisiana, but he has a thick Eastern accent, or Eastern European accent. So everybody's like, who is this dude? So Dave Franco kind of asks him, hey man, how are you so confident? How do you just let go? How do you act the way you do and just have the confidence and just go for it? So that's how they become friends in acting class. And then they decide, I don't want to spoil it too much because I love this story. This was a really, really cool story, and it accompanied all of the people that you'd expect inside the story. Seth Rogen's in here. There's a few cameos that I don't want to spoil too much, and it was hilarious. You actually felt for the guy. You get sympathy for Tommy, who James plays, and you get the inside of this guy, and he wants connection, and I think he seeks connection through fame. And he actually realizes, hey, man, I'm not going to be able to do this through the actual network itself of Hollywood. I'm going to make my own movie. So he makes his own movie, and you get to see behind the scenes of everything. He's a director. He has to direct. He has this whole cast and crew that he has to just coordinate and move, and it is just hysterical to see James play this man while also feel for this man as well, because he's just trying to, you have that underlying or pinning drive of just connecting and being friends with people. So you get that, and you feel for the guy, and it's just absurdity after absurdity after absurdity all the way through. And he's just so funny, and the guy he's so weird. He's just so weird. And he's not a bad dude by any shape or form, but it's just, he's so bizarre in it. And I enjoyed this movie. I think you would, as long as you're not expecting like huge gaffes or huge like I don't know, like this is the end comedy. If you're expecting huge outbursts of just weird stuff like that, don't see this movie. But I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I'm a huge fan of James Franco, though I'm biased. So I wanted to throw this inside of the podcast as well. It's a side-by-side of James acting while in The Disaster Artist as Tommy Wiseau is acting in The Room. So I'm going to play this real quick, and you'll get to hear, if you're listening or watching on the live stream or on YouTube, you'll get to see the similarities inside of The Disaster Artist being inside The Room. So here we go for this.
It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
You're scary.
You are lying. I never hit you. You are tearing me apart, Lisa.
Why are you so hysterical?
Do you understand life? Do you? GP Peter, you're clumsy.
Alright, that's it. I'm done.
Okay.
Great idea, Jenny.
Okay.
Hi.
Can I help you?
Yeah, can I have a dozen red roses, please?
Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you.
See, so you can hear the choppy, just a little bit off of the dialogue inside of this actual like movie itself. So I think that's what it's like. I think why people enjoy it so much is there's like that innate storyline that we all enjoy and it connects to it, but it's just a little choppy and just a little bit off because this Eastern European who is not Cajun is is writing this, and he also is a little bit doesn't understand a few social cues as well. So it's just really, really funny to get the end product of that, of what he thinks the what a cinema storyline goes through, and he's never done it before. And I think that's why people are captivated by it, just because it's so absurd. And I don't know if you've ever seen The Room. I have not. I've just watched. If you go on YouTube, you can go to the best of The Room scenes, and you can immediately get struck by what people gravitate to and why they actually do like it, because there's like a huge cult following for this movie that the disaster artist is portraying. So it's really, really funny. It's just interesting. It's really, really interesting to see this guy. And there's at the end of the movie, you'll get to see Tommy himself. And if you want to Google Tommy, you can see him too. And he is just he's everything that you'd want him to be, pretty much. So thank you so much for watching and listening on the podcast. If you want to support the podcast, review us on iTunes. That helps immensely. And I would love you forever. And this, I'm going to keep going on this live stream if you're watching live. So we'll be back next with Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which is a Netflix series. So if you're on here, stay tuned. And if not, stay tuned on iTunes. Until next time, folks, thank you for listening and watching. This has been Matthew Benjamin with the American Movie Podcast. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, 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 bye.
I've been frozen for 30 years, okay? Throw me a frickin' bone.